to welcome you all to the inauguration of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit here in TCN. Corruption as we know it today boldly covers all forms of abuse of office for private gain. In any form, corruption increases cost of doing business, undermines revenue generating capacity, weakens fiscal regimes, discourages foreign investment, breeds distrust between government organizations and their customers, as well as put credibility at stake. Corruption equally increases the cost of governance, celebrates mediocrity, discourages creativity, and creates an atmosphere of uncertainty and insecurity. In Nigeria today, we all know that corruption has continued to negatively impact our society in several ways. Corruption needs to be properly checkmated, and where it is effectively done, accountability is entrenched and goals more readily achieved with resultant growth of the company, organization, and the society as a whole. No matter how we look at corruption, it is not ethical, and we must all rise to the challenge of fighting it by saying no to any form of corruption practice. It is in this response to the need to fight corruption, the federal government established the ACTU, which is mini ICPC in the federal ministries, departments, and agencies, through circular number OHCSF MSO 192/94 of 2nd October 2001. This clearly shows that government is really interested in the activities of ACTU, and members of this committee must understand this and take their assignment seriously. Our ACTU committee must also understand the need to put in place a structure that places emphasis on the right values and reject abuse of the system for private gain. The structure must be well articulated to enable it to have the right impact and ultimately help to order our value system. Ladies and gentlemen, our gathering today is to witness the inauguration of men and women whom we will entrust the responsibility of being in the forefront of this campaign against corruption in TCN. The strategic role which this committee must play in the anti-corruption crusade include putting forward recommendations for the review of internal processes that are prone to corruption. The committee must also note, however, that achieving success in discharging this responsibility must be based on deliberate and planned effort to fight as well as prevent corruption. Every one of you must therefore believe in the struggle with keen interest in its success. I would like to emphasize the fact that more than ever before, this is the time to say no to corruption and embrace right processes that will help reposition the industry towards achieving set goals and objectives. May I assure you that TCN management on its part will do everything within its power to support the effort of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of TCN to enable it to perform optimally. I therefore urge you all to blow the whistle when you are sure an act of corruption has been observed and follow the appropriate steps to investigate the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the fight against corruption is a collective effort and cannot be left to the committee entirely. I therefore urge everyone to join hands with the committee to ensure that corruption in any form in TCN become a thing of the past. I appreciate ICPC effort and their doggedness in the fight against corruption. Their presence here this morning is a clear testimony of their commitment to this crusade. I must commend the cordial working relationship between TCN and ICPC and hope that we will continue to be united in the fight against corruption. On this note, I heartily congratulate every member of the TCN ACTU committee. Thank you very much.
So I'll present the goodwill message of the Honorable Chairman, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, at the inauguration of Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, Actu, of Transmission Company of Nigeria, held today, Thursday, 17th June, 2021. Our appreciation to the Acting Managing Director, CEO, Engineer Sule A. Abdulaziz, management and staff of TCN for making the inauguration and induction of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit possible, even at this crucial time. The Actu, which is being inaugurated today, is an initiative of the Icpc, approved by the federal government to serve as an in-house mechanism for corruption prevention within MDAs, in line with global best practices. In furtherance of the Icpc preventive mandate as contained in Section 6A to F of the Icpc Act 2000, the Commission places emphasis on prevention as one of the most efficient means of fighting corruption in the system. Hence, the Actu is set up as a complementary arm of the Commission in assisting management of MDAs in building strong institutions and institutionalizing good governance within the organization. In view of the important role this organization plays in the power sector, it is expected that the staff of the organization will display high level of professionalism and integrity in the discharge of their duties. The Actu will assist management in promoting these principles if it is allowed to effectively discharge its duties, which include conducting system studies and review of processes and procedures of the organization with a view to making appropriate recommendations to block corruption loopholes, to conduct continuous sensitization of staff on and against the ills of corruption, to develop and implement code of ethics, to monitor budget implementation of the company, to implement the ethics and integrity compliance scorecard, and undertake preliminary investigations into complaints received, amongst others. May I, however, state clearly that the Actu is not set up as a parallel authority to the management. Rather, they are to work closely with the management to build a reputable organization. I would therefore like to solicit management support in ensuring that the unit is given an enabling environment to carry out its duties. Inclusion of members in relevant committees as observers, as well as funding for its activities as provided in the Eastern Circular of Government dated 5th October 2016. To the newly appointed members of Actu, I congratulate you for being found worthy to serve in this capacity. I implore you to showcase high ethical standards and sterling examples worthy of being emulated, while also working together as a team in maintaining the culture of discipline and accountability within your organization. Finally, it is our hope that by this inauguration, the relationship between Icpc and TCN will wax stronger for the overall growth and progress of our great nation. Thank you all for your attention.
We are highly privileged and honored to be in your midst this morning and are fully prepared with a deep understanding of all of the call to duty as an anti-corruption unit in Transmission Company of Nigeria. Like every other committee that is formed to entrench proper procedure and ensure compliance, the TCN Actu will certainly work with management and staff of TCN in various ways to enable it achieve its goal. We cannot entrench a system that is corruption-free without necessary cooperation, and I believe I am speaking to men and women who subscribe to the idea that corruption has negative consequences to the development of TCN and our dear country as a whole. We as a team are determined to ensure that the Actu committee is a success. I'm not going to bore you with definitions and what corruption is and what corruption is not, because MD has dealt with that extensively in his opening remark. We as new Actu team of TCN understand the gravity of our responsibility, and we will certainly work in the light of that understanding to ensure that necessary process and procedure are followed in actualizing TCN goals. On this note, I want to thank the MD CEO and the management of TCN